gently place them on your eyes. And open your eyes with a smile on your face. All right. So today we are going to discuss how exactly are you going to prepare a toolkit for the examination. Yesterday I mentioned 2 or 3 things. We should be ready with our entire toolkit before we jump into the main preparation part. So when I say toolkits, there are only 2 aspects here, 2 important aspects. One is you. Number 2, your books. You and your books. At this junction, we need to slowly move away from your dependence on coaching classes, because whatever classes you have access to, they have to be converted into some meaningful form. It could be a reference book or it could be your own notes, because you cannot revise looking at your coaching classes all the time. There has to be some format in which the entire information is captured and you can continue a revision. So ideally, if anything is left out, just finish off in the next 3 to 4 days and make sure you have the complete information in the format of a note and notes. This is number 1 when we're talking about coaching classes to this. However, there could be some specific revision lectures, let's say advanced, I would say some accounting standards or auditing standards or tax amendments, which you might to have a look at somewhere in between June 2nd or 3rd week for one more quick revision. That is fine. But generally, I would say 90 to 95% of your syllabus should be converted into the form of a notebook or reference book. This is number 1. Number 2, if you're not done your coaching yet, you cannot afford to segregate multiple steps, because you don't have 1 week for coaching, you don't have 1 more week for taking notes, 1 more week for revision. We have only 1 month for all the 4 subjects. So if you're not yet done with the coaching entirely, make sure you're doing coaching and revision parallelly. So in the allocated 1 week, yesterday I have showed you the strategy, I'll reshare it today also. So in that 1 week allocated for this specific subject, do make sure you are completing things parallelly. There are no 2 cycles, and you can definitely do it. When you have, say, 3 months or 4 months, it would be really difficult for you to follow this approach. When you have only 1 month, it is very easy. Directly watch a lecture, write notes instantly and revise it. That's it. You're done with that. And this will stay fresh in your memory. The reason why it will work is it will stay fresh in your memory and focus more on completing the most important topics. Complete A priority, A plus, I would say A plus, A, B, and if C, it can be done. Or if not, instead of preparing for 20 marks for another 2 days, it will give you more value if you revise the existing A plus, A and B. This is about the coaching part. If you're not done, this is what you have to do. Next, if you're confused with your reference books, your reference book A, B, C, D, all of that, if you do not have time, if you have to do many things right now, directly shift to question and answer format. If you have to choose between a reference book versus Q&A book of the same author or of the institute, anything, in the last minute, question and answer format will make more sense, because the applicability of how you learn from question and answer will have greater chances of scoring in the exam. I'm not recommending this 1 year before the exam, 1 month before the exam, which you have only 1 week. When you have only 1 week per subject, when you don't have time to go through the entire reference book, go directly with the question and answer format. Now the question is not that would this be sufficient? Now when you don't have sufficient, this is what we have, right? There's nothing much we can do. When you have only 1 week, when you cannot revise 3 books, when you cannot complete everything, you could only complete the topmost layer. What is the topmost layer? A priority topic or this question and answer format. So instead of worrying about everything half off, this will have greater retention power in your brain. And most importantly, what is a question? Question is an reflection of the question is an indication. Our question is a reflection of the topmost important topics. So any question which is written, let's say in your chapter, when there are at least 100 pages in the chapter, the content is for 100 pages. If there are 10 questions, this implies that these questions are already reflecting the most important topics. Now, out of these 10 questions, probably 1 question will come. That's a separate story. But these 10 questions itself are very important. Questions itself are A priority topics by themselves. So this will be far more strategic in terms of how you can approach. This is about your books. This is about your choice of that, and do not continue further debates or endless thoughts on deciding. Pick up a book. What is more important is starting something instead of finding the right book which does not exist. This is done. Now talking about you, the most important tool in this is you. More than the books, you are the most important person. Now, how do you have to put in yourself? How do you have to invest yourself in this last 1 month? First aspect, close all the pending decisions. Close all the pending decisions or completely postpone them to after your exams. Either close or postpone. Do one of this. Close or postpone. Let's say you are applying for a job. You're actually applying for a job. No, either take a full stop. Take a full stop. You'll look into it because you want to enter as a completely qualified chartered accountant instead of a semi-qualified, or probably with one group left. Either do that or make the communication very clear that now I'm going to prepare. I'll be joining anyways in July. I'm ready to join on July 20th or July 15th as applicable to you. Just convey that clearly. Do not drag this. Do not drag the decision-making process along with your preparation, because that is suicidal. If something else is there along with preparation in July, your chances of clearing exam will go for a toss. It could be your marriage proposal, it could be a business proposal, it could be a job. I'm talking about focus. I'm talking about focus. Already we don't have time. We need high amount of focus. It's extremely important, super important. So put a comma to all your endeavors, or at least a full stop. So that is exactly how you have to do and what you have to do. That will become very, very important for you to do that. Okay. So books you are done and mindset you are done. Next is the integration. So how do you integrate you with your books? This is the next part. So while choosing the book, there has to be reasonable comfort. So for all those people who have realized that there is one more new book in the market, I'm done with this old book. Before we switch into that, please look at only 4 to 5 days. Look at 5 days per book, or probably 2 days per book if you have more than 2 or 3. So you deciding a new book when you have 2 months is different. Now, what's the point if I find a fantastic alternative to an existing book, and then I don't have time? So take your decisions cautiously, assuming that you have only 20 to 25 hours. So when you have 25 hours, see, there is a fantastic book when you have 100 hours, but it's not so fantastic when you have only 25 hours. So you should keep your limitation. You should keep your capacity constraint in mind before you take some random decisions. Institute material for audit is absolutely good. I would recommend that. But now, no. You're understanding it? I don't recommend directly going with question and answers without knowing the concept. You can look at it to understand what is the scope of it, but you cannot jump into it. But right now, probably yes, you can take that leap. So don't go with I would say senseless logical statements which are not applicable, which are not relevant to this right now. So you apply your common sense and you apply your situation. You apply your own situation. Nobody knows what it is. You cannot blame somebody on YouTube, or you cannot blame your faculties if they have guided you or misguided you, because that's not their intention. They can only generalize something. But what is your situation? Only you know. Which chapter you know better, which chapter you don't. That is all about it. And even when you say A plus topics, A topic, these are different for different people. So please understand that there are 5 chapters which will carry a weightage of 10 marks. Not everything will go into A. Not everything will go into A plus. Why am I bringing some chapter into A plus? Because even though it carries the same 10 marks, it would need only 4 hours instead of 10 hours. Some other chapter will give you 10 marks, but that will give you 10 hours. And also, generally, this is perceived to be easy. There could be exemption. Most of the students perceive this to be easy. So that is the reason why we kind of hesitate to bring in a list. This time we are going to give it for the people who are a part of the program. We have decided to give it. But you need to understand that instead of worrying about this versus this, anyways you have to cover. You don't have to waste a lot of time in trying to cover or trying to set a priority between A plus and A. If you have it, go and jump. If you don't, you know that both has to be done. So what is the argument between completing accounting standards and partnership? Both are important. Why am I saying start your partnership first, start your standards first for that matter? Because once you complete all the standards in a single day, your scope will expand. Then you can revise one standard every day in 45 minutes. So once you go through them, and then you can split the standard. The same cannot happen for partnership. Once you're going through, and then you cannot split partnership over a period of 1 month, which can be done in the case of standards. So optimize, improvise, and set the priority. Parallelly, match up your ability or your extent of completion with the priority. So bring both of these elements together. That will help you prepare a very solid and fundamental strategy which need not be disturbed. This is number one. Number two, once your toolkit is set, it's like a batsman goes into the match with a bat. Now you are going to play with it. Unless the bat is broken, unless something random happens, you're going to play with it, right? No matter, even if the ball is hit for 6 sixes, if the shape of the ball is not altered, you don't see a reason to change it. It's not about the cost of the ball. It changes the game dimension. So it's not about you getting access or not getting access, but it is important that you stick to it. You stick to it because there is a rhythm, there is a pattern, there is a routine which is being built. There is a cumulative improvement which is happening when you're continuing with the same book over this time. And that will give you a lot of comfort and confidence at the last point of time when you're going to do the final revision. So what is important is your 1.5 day more than this 1 week or this 5 days is equivalent of your 1.5 day preparation. So you are taking everything to that. It's like the overnight success. Why is the overnight success happening before the night of the exam? Because you have spent your whole year, then you have spent your whole month, then everything is cumulatively reflecting on that. So if everything you do is good but cannot be revised on that day, no, you're doing a strategic mistake. So what is the point in preparing for 10 years and not able to deliver on the D-Day? So even that has to be taken into consideration. So that your choice right now in this week should be facilitating you. When we explain the super student workshop, if you remember, we say that it has to move from 100 to 25%, 25% to 10%, and ideally 1 hour before the exam, 1%. So what am I saying? 100 to 10%. This is the time where you have to reduce the time to 25% at least, then in 10% of the time. So if you're studying a subject, let's say for 50 hours right now, you should ideally be completing in another 15 hours before the exam. So that facility has to be given both by your preparation and both by your toolkit. Hope I made myself very clear. These are the only two things. You need nothing else. You need nothing else. And every decision, take it immediately. Do not take last minute decisions. Do not take last minute decisions. Take all the decisions immediately. If you're reasonably thinking about adopting something, go for the adoption at the earliest point. If you're planning to get some revision lectures, get it at the earliest point. Do not drag it at the last minute. The price will not reduce, the time will reduce, the pressure will increase, and most importantly, that will affect your entire plan. So any decision which you want to take it right now in the next 3 days. Later on, it is not so effective. So see, this process is also important. The reason why I'm stressing on this is so much is you jumping into the preparation one day would not add much value without going into it concrete, because U-turns are very, very dangerous than starting late. Most of you take U-turns, complete multiple U-turns. You start with the subject U-turn. You do some other U-turn. In fact, most of the faculties say that a lot of people buy courses or mentorship in the last 15 days. The price won't change. You are going to do something out of desperation. You think that something is not working and you want to jump into something with a random thing. That won't work the way you want. Ideally, any level of new implementation or new book, even for that matter, if you generally believe that taking a new book, probably it could be institute material or any amendments, do it right away. So all decisions taken, decided, sorted, freeze. That's it. Any questions regarding this? And even from our side, we have decided not to accept any more random ways of working on this. Everything, every topic is decided only once you completely understand what is happening on this day, then the next day, then the next day. We call this incremental approach, incremental, step by step, step by step, step by step. Very clear, not to worry about the whole picture right now, step by step. So today, I'm only focused on the toolkit. Any questions regarding this? Any doubts regarding this? Okay, let me share the screen for you. You're all able to see the screen? So let's say this is a strategy which you have adopted. This is a strategy which you have adapted. So the first part, when I'm saying toolkit, everything that is required for you to complete taxation in 7 days should be ready right now. You just have to go with that. Everything, bat, gloves, helmet, ear guard, each and everything has to be there when you are going to complete it. It has to be ready in advance for all the 4 papers. No other deviations. So have a look at this. Let's say you are focused on this part. Let's say you're writing IPCC group 2. So is everything ready? Is everything ready for you to jump? Assume this. Let's say you're ready with your books. You're stuck because of the lockdown. You're stuck in a room. So you should be having everything with you, which will help you to complete the exams without going back or without asking anybody's help. If you're stuck in a single room, you should be ready to complete it independently. That is what I'm talking about. It could be including a new notebook, a pen, pencil, everything should be there on your table. How many of you are ready with this? Pretty good, good to know. Okay, good. Right? So this is what we are intending to do. Now the question about the A+ topics and A priority topics. Now we are telling you every week, because generally it's not just for students, even in offices. Friday is highly unproductive. Nothing happens on Friday, and the reduction in productivity starts from Thursday itself. Generally, 60% of the work will get done in the first 2.5 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, first half, most of the work will be done, and most of the decisions will be taken if you're having a Saturday, Sunday leave. So that is what it is. Now, when you're jumping into the new system, new subject, you have a lot of energy. Now we are ensuring your entire energy is coming and being invested on this A priority topics. When I say A priority topics, by being able to complete in a single day, you can score 20 marks. So this is the list of A priority topics. Now there are 2 or 3 questions. What do I mean when I say there could be change in A priority topics? Let's say I'm saying that in accounting standards are A priority topics. Now, if you're already very confident, you're very confident instantly, you've just studied it last week, you're already done with that. So at that point of time, in your case, the A priority topics might change. Second, now for you, consolidation is very easy. Consolidation, a lot of people find a lot of difficulty, but for you it is very easy. So then probably accounting standards which has the same weightage will go to A, consolidation will come into A plus, because you are very comfortable and you are very confident of scoring those 10 to 12 marks. So generally how we divide is A, B, C. A, B, C categorization is what we do. But within A, the creamy layer, the top layer, which has a far more highest value addition, the top layer is like the class 1, 2, 3 students. So top 10 students, these are all the toppers. But the first rank, second rank, third rank, that will go to A plus. Or probably let's say there are 3 ranks. A plus is the first rank. So this is one topic which we'll be giving you. Now, why are we giving it this time when we're not comfortable sharing all of this? So we have realized that one part of the problem got significantly resolved, especially in terms of mindset and everything. When it comes to studies, students are still lagging while trying to decide. The decision-making skill is not yet sorted for many people, where they're still confused between this and this. So those whoever are inside the program, because the reason why we don't give it public is we don't have a mechanism to answer your query in the mind. So basically, we give it, now you get a question. So that question will cause you confusion. Within the program, what is the advantage is that we meet every day daily. So we'll be telling you this, this, this. And we are trying to give this in the form of the assignment. Let's say, instead of, if you are part of a batch, let's say these are the batches. This is how we get it. Let me take the example of anything. Okay, let's say this one. This is the recently connected batch. Let's say every day you'll have an assignment. What will happen is, once you submit the assignment, we have an option to see whether you've done it or not. Whether we approve it or not, that is secondary, but we'll clearly know how many of you submitted it. So when an assignment is given, this is done. So when you're doing this, the advantage is we can create daily assignments. We can create assignments for specific people. Assignment A can be given to this. Assignment B can be given to this. So this possibility is now being possible. So what we are trying to think is, we'll break down the entire process. We'll break down the entire process and we'll give specific inputs so that they'll become very actionable for you. And same in this timetable, we'll be able to give all the topics. So whatever we are going to discuss in June, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, you can have a very clear picture of what is going to happen, what. So that way, yes, on a given day, when you want to implement this, so when you want to implement this part, it will become super easy. When you're opening your assignment tab, day 1, these are the topics. Just do it. Day 2, these are the topics. We'll also try to give it in the same format, 3+2, 3+2. If you're preparing for the massive action plan, you'll have to prepare for 10 hours, 3+2. Topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4. Simple, straightforward. You look at it, you write it on a piece of paper and start doing it. That's it. No other nonsense. Straightforward implementation. You keep moving. And when we meet in the session during at 9 p.m., you'll be able to solve the problems. And most importantly, there will be a gap day. When I say super revision, somebody who is not able to complete all the topics by day 5, they'll spend more time on day 6 also to complete their topics. Day 7 will include revision and tests. That's it. So this is the simplest way and the most easiest way to execute things. So that is exactly how our plan is going on. So this is about people who are inside the program. And for people who are outside the program, we are hand-holding you till the end of the month. We'll be helping you. What is the best strategy to take care of the massive action plan? What is the best strategy to take care of minimum viable preparation? And everybody needs to understand both, because there could be a bad day, and on your given bad day, when massive action plan of 10 hours is not possible, immediately shift to 3 hours instead of 0 hours. Even the same student might need both. Or let's say there is a working professional. Every day she is following minimum viable preparation, but on Saturday, Sunday, she has to jump into massive action plan. So for you to do this MVP, you need a different mindset. For a massive action plan, different segment. So that we are going to discuss exclusively on 2 separate sessions. Tomorrow we'll discuss the complete details of the massive action plan, and Saturday we'll discuss at 7 p.m. You'll get access to all of this, and then we'll start the June advanced batch only for advanced students, and there they'll get all the specific topics. So meanwhile, you'll be completely ready, and if possible, if all the advanced students are already in, just go and complete the pending topics. And for some of you, if there is only 20% or 10% of a particular, I would say, subject is left out, go and complete it. That's it. So that you are fresh, you're starting afresh. So take all the decisions. So are we clear? Are we clear about the path? Everyone, are we clear about the path? What is going to happen? What steps needs to be taken? And how do you simplify it? And mindset, you are in the safest hands in India. Nobody else can deal with this aspect better than us. I'm giving you an open challenge, so you don't have to worry. So if there is some level of minimal problem that will happen, that is supposed to happen, right? When you're working out, if you have a good coach, you won't fall, you don't get injured, and the chances of building your body will happen at the fastest way. You'll get good nutrition. That's about it. But you still have to lift it, right? If you're not lifting it, if you want the coach or mentor to lift it, he will get a six-pack, not you. So that extension, yes, from our side, you'll get complete support. Only thing is you getting used to it, and then taking the one step forward. Do not worry. Do not be scared. We are trying to give you the map, because what we are also planning to do is, we are this particular July attempt, we are also taking it personally, because a lot of time we are putting in efforts, then it gets carried forward, unnecessary drag. So I want to personally involve. If it requires live sessions, I want to sit and study with you. I'll do whatever is needed for this. So this is equally important for us. Clear? So any more questions in terms of preparing for the toolkit? So are we good in terms of preparing for the toolkit? Are we good? All right, guys. So follow this, get ready. If anything else is left out, just work on it. Tomorrow we'll discuss. Tomorrow, probably, if you need, carry a pen and paper. We'll discuss clearly how do you sit and study for 10 hours. That is my single point agenda. That is my single point focus. Okay. So complete 10-hour preparation. First slot, second slot, third slot, fourth slot. 3 + 2, 3 + 2. This is what I want to tell you. And for both groups, you can do 3 + 3, 3 + 3. So we'll do it very systematically in a very detailed manner. That is what we are going to do tomorrow. Okay. All right. So good night, guys. Do well and make sure you are ensuring this is your last attempt. This is your last attempt. So fix it on that. Okay. Good night, guys. All the best.